And hey, hello there, welcome back to the channel. I'm RJB from RJB TV, the channel that you're watching right now. And I've got Brain against V in a best of 3. So let's see what's gonna be up with these two names when they're playing here on the fastest map, the map that we've seen so many times. I think I've seen it over 1,000 times. Well, for sure over 1,000 times. I've played like 10,000 fastest map games in my life, so I've seen these maps way too many times. You might wonder, do you never ever get tired of these games? Yes, I sometimes do get tired of fastest map. Sometimes I do get tired of fastest map. But not the replays. I get tired of playing sometimes, but the replays, they never ever bore me, because when I'm watching these replays of very high level players, I just always get inspired to play. A little bit of a weird paradoxical relationship. Watching the replays motivates me to play. But then when I play, I realize that I'm really bad at this game, and that's a little bit demotivating. So then I watch more replays, and I'm like, wow, I want to try this, I want to be this good. And then I play more, and then I found out that I'm pretty bad at this game. And then I, get demotivated. And there's like this cycle that never ends. It's a vicious cycle where I keep getting drawn back into playing the game, even though I don't enjoy playing it as much as I do watching and commentating. It's a very weird relationship I have with this game. Perhaps it's not a healthy one, but this is not a therapy session. This is not a therapy session, so I'm not going to talk more about that one, because you're not here to hear me talk about me being bad at StarCraft. You're here to hear me talk about these people being good at StarCraft, right? So who is V? 1v1 gosu is Brain. I haven't said that yet, but 1v1 gosu is Brain. I should have said it at the start, not almost 2 minutes into the video. A little bit late of an introduction for both players. But V here, I think he's San Francisco. I think he is San Francisco. And 1v1 gosu is Brain. I've seen this game on a stream. And yeah, it's Brain. That's pretty much all I can say. Brain here on 1v1 gosu. It's a name I've seen him play on before. And V, I just literally do not know if this guy is San Francisco or not. And then I also don't know who San Francisco is. Like, I know it is San Francisco, most likely, but I don't know who San Francisco is. So I still don't know who he is. He's like a new mysterious name that appeared on the scene and started blasting. Protoss against Protoss. I've said too much random stuff so far. Let's focus on the game. Nexus first from V. We have Gateway, Cybercore first from gosu, from Brain. He's gonna go for early Dragoons, and that is, turns out, pretty good against Zealots without speed. There's no Cybercore here for V. V might just take some pretty bad amounts of damage from Brain before he has anything to fight back with, because Brain has really good Dragoon micro. Zealots without speed are not going to be able to do much. Brain has exceptionally good Dragoon micro. Now let's hope that Brain is not going to have some micro mistakes happening after I said that his micro is really good. That aside though, 4K was there from V. 4K was there from Brain. Brain got Dragoons on the map. Very sad for V that those Zealots are taking so much damage trying to leave the base. Same for the other group of 4. He's actually losing his fighting ability by trying to scout the map instead of defending. This might just be a big mistake. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to find Brain's base and hit those probes. But if he doesn't exactly know where Brain is, this might not be entirely worth it. So the Zealots do make their way in, but the fight is already happening in your base, Mr. V. And if you had a couple more Zealots coming in from behind to flank the Dragoons, maybe you would be able to do more damage to those Dragoons. Well, the Zealots did find the probes. The probes are taking some damage. The Dragoons are not really quick at killing Zealots, but he loses a couple. There's now a 13, almost 14 worker difference, a 15 worker difference. But Brain has more firing power. Citadel of Adun is finished. I'm honestly not sure which direction his game is going to go, because Brain has a very tiny economy, and V has a lot of Zealots, and Dragoons as well. He's got Zealot speed on the way, and he might even get Dragoon range. I'm just not sure what's going to happen here. Brain has more fighting power. He's got way more fighting power. He's got only 10 less supply, but 17 less probes, which means he's got about twice the army size that V does. But V, 6 gateways. Soon will be 8 gateways. Zealots with speed are great against Dragoons, but all the Zealots are dying. And the army of Dragoons keeps growing. Supply counts are almost even, and as I said before, we have a 17 worker difference, which means Brain's fighting army is literally untouchable. Gets himself a very disgusting position in between the gateways. Everything that spawns, V knows that he's lost. V knows he's lost the game. That just escalated really quickly. V made some very desperate moves, trying to kill probes, and it all ended up backfiring really hard, because as a result he lost all of his defensive fighting power in his main base, and he paid the price. He paid the price, and he died before minute 6 had even started. So it's a very quick loss. We got more games between these two players, Brain and V. They have more games. So we're going into game number 2 between V and Brain. Brain switching over to Taran, and V, also known as San Francisco, stays on the Protoss. We have middle spawn against middle spawn, middle right against top middle. So this means we're probably going to see a build order from V that is going pretty hard on early game aggression. Now the question becomes, what is Brain going to do? Because Brain oftentimes likes to do some pretty risky stuff that sometimes does backfire. Like, Brain is a very smart player. He called himself the Brain God. He called himself the Brain God. The God of all the brains. So, usually, you know, he plays pretty smart. That's kind of what he implies with being the Brain God. And I have to give it to him, he does play probably the smartest out of everyone I've ever seen. But sometimes he plays a little bit too smart, and he outsmarts even himself. Because he is so smart that he outsmarts his own brain, and his own body cannot keep up with what his brain is doing. Something like that. It's kind of one of those paradoxical relationships where things are perhaps not entirely in sync, body and mind, and, you know, the results are that sometimes Brain loses in very miserable ways very quickly. Actually, he loses more often to himself than he does to other players, which says a lot about how good he is. So V here going for a double gateway and then a Nexus, the standard middle spawn Protoss build order. It's a very short little rushing distance when you have 2 gateways on the middle spawn. It's very quick and easy to walk to that Taran. V is scouting just the middle spawns because he knows that when those Zealots spawns, he wants to be able to attack quickly. So that's why he's scouting the middle spawns first, because they are, in terms of traveling time spent for the Zealots going from gateway to enemy, they are the closest, closer than corner spawns. Corner spawns is a lot more distance to cover, even if the corner spawn is right next to you. It's faster to go to a middle spawn. So factory build order here from Brain. It's quite weak against early game rushes, like this. And Brain is a kind of player not to build a bunker. He always skips out on it. He might build one right now though. Yeah, there it is. Oh, but it might just be a little bit too late. Or it might be just on time. So he's using some SCVs to block those Zealots to try and get the bunker up. The Marine can walk through this tight little space, and the Zealots are going for the SCVs. He's going to try to do some economic damage to try and slow Brain down. I've seen this done before by 458, but this time around, V does not get that much damage down. He got 1 SCV Not 2, not 3, just 1. And that simply is not enough damage. He had to kill at least 3 or 4 to really push Brain into a troublesome position economically. Because he's on 1 command center, not 2. And he's already mining gas very early on into the game. So this build order from Brain struggles on economy. If the Taran loses SCVs like this, he's losing a lot of them now. More than before. But is it enough? He has money to build a 2nd command center. He's got 1 machine shop finished up. I am of the opinion that V might have done just enough damage to slow Brain down. He killed 4 SCVs. I think that's just enough. I think that is exactly just enough. So he's walling off the front here in a very cheap manner. This does not cost a lot of money, but it's very cost efficient. 1 cannon, 1 gateway, 4 zealots on hold position. He's getting more gateways. He's not getting advanced technology. He is getting robotics, but he's going for a triple gateway. And the robotics are on the... Well, actually, where's the robotics? Where's the robotics? Oh, it's on the bottom side of the map. Right here. Found it. Robotics on the bottom side. He's going to try to sneak past, unseen, over the bottom side, where Brain does not expect it to be coming from. Now, Brain will get a scan, and he will scan the base. And then he'll see, like, hey, there's no robo. I've got nothing to worry about. But there might be some signs spread about V's base that might give away the information that there should be a robo somewhere on the map. And he might still prepare for the drop. But I do think this hidden robo might catch Brain off guard. He's got mines on the middle. No mines on the side yet. Either side. He's getting a starboard at the science facility. He's got a scan in production. Support bay almost finished up. The choke still only consists of 1 cannon. Got 2 more factories in construction here for Brain. An armory finished up, getting level 1 attack, getting Cairn boost. He's switching over into Goliaths for anti-drop. Now V built some Dragoons for his own anti-drop probe protection against tank drops, which Brain will probably try to use, because that's something Terran players love to use whenever they can. Oh, Brain scouting the sides, and yes, he finds that probe, finds the proxy base for Reaver shuttle drops, but the Reaver is almost finished up and the shuttle is already finished up, which of course means that he should have enough time. It's a race against the clock. Will the Goliaths arrive before the Reaver spawns, or will the Reaver spawn just in time, and will it get picked up and flown to safety by the shuttle? It's going to be a close call. He picks it up. He's going to buy time for the Scarab to finish. Scarab 1 finishes up. Going to pick it up and try to micro it again, but the shuttle dies a little bit too quick. 1 more Scarab. No, only gets 1 Scarab. Goodbye, Proxy Robo Base. Was nice knowing you, but you got sniffed out. Looks like Brain knew that V probably liked doing those sneaky kinds of things. And he scans the map. Scans the choke. Sees Robo. 2 of them. Sees gateways. 4 of them. 4 more in the back. Observatory finished up. 1, 2, 3, 4 cannons to protect the probes. Couple Dragoons on either side should be enough against tank drops, but tank drops are not in production. Surprisingly, not in production. I think tank drop could probably do some damage, because 3 cannons, 4 Dragoons might not be enough to instantly clear out the tanks before they can shoot their 1 shot at killing those probes. But instead of that, Brain is going for the frontal push. And I think that might be a mistake, because we do have a lot of gateway units here from V. There's mines in the middle, vessel in the air against Dark Templars, but this looks pretty strong from V. A lot of Dragoons in the back, waiting. Zealots are also waiting. No speed on the Zealots. Getting level 1 armor. Is level 1 attack finished up for those Zealots? No, it's just getting level 1 armor. Brain pushing forward aggressively. Very aggressively. Snipes the Observer. So the mines are a problem, but this might just be a little bit too much. Unloading Zealots on top of the tanks. Beautiful attack. Beautiful read on what to do against Brain's strategy. Brain pulling back, mines exploding on the Zealots. Zealots killing the mines. No, that one goes down there though. Looks like... Why so many engineering bays though? Probably wanted to lift them up into the air. They're on the top side, but that's a lot of engineering bays ready to get lifted up. So getting more factories. 45 SCVs. Brain is looking pretty strong. Supply difference only 40, but losing everything here just earlier might have just done a little bit too much. Corsair doing some scouting, gathering information. A lot is going on. Both players are playing this phenomenally well. This is very high level. Higher level than the first game would imply. Because the first game was kind of a rock, paper, scissors situation. This is very much pure skill on display. Brain very aggressively pushing forward. Not pulling any punches. But perhaps he might be too aggressive. Perhaps he might be misreading what V has in store. Hitting up those sleeves. Shuttles don't have speed yet, but will soon. The speed upgrade got slowed down. And because his speed up got slowed down, he just went all in on Gateway Army. He's gonna unload on top of the tanks. Beautiful move. Shuttles are so damn mute. Gets a complete surround with all the tanks. Mines exploding on the tanks as well. Cleans out the attack so easily. Barely any effort. Perfectly executed read on the situation. Brain gets punished, loses his army, and now there's not much here back at home to defend. I think V is in a position to end Brain's game very soon. Comes in with a drop, Templars on the scene, SCV's running to safety, but the Templars are too far away to really do much. So the SCVs do stay alive. Kills? Well, kill about 6, I think. So that is at least something. Supply difference of 70 already. So V is in a really good position. He's got about 20 gateways. His production is off the charts. There's almost no mines on the middle. We have mines on the sides. Vultures are not in the main base. There's no wall in the front. Brain is in a pretty dangerous situation. This looks pretty good for V. For example, on the side, clearing out vision. Observer there as well to clear out mines. Zealots running to the front to clear out the mines. And a mass attack. A small Zealot push, you know, moving through the middle, trying to take out the front. There's 3 tanks, 2 Goliaths, and there's Goliaths on the side, tanks on the side. There's really not much for Brain in the base. This looks like it can kill. Yes, this looks like it can kill. Drop from the top, coming in hot. SCV's running this. SCV's getting stuck behind the factory. It is a disaster. They get it all stored. Oh, they do split up just in time. They stay alive. But now Zealot's on the scene. Archon's morphing. Attack in the front happening as well. Oh, the Stork gets stuck again. They keep getting stuck on this position. And he loses like 10 SCVs. Most of them stay alive trying to repair the CC. This is brutal. Brain. I think Brain is dead. I mean, he's got some supply. He's got an Archon in between his SCVs, dying to Archon. It can't do much. It's just clipping and clipping and clipping, stuck between the SCVs. Big drop coming from the bottom side, left again. On the top side, Zealots are killing stuff. Units are not protecting those SCVs. SCVs running to safety, trying to stay alive, but no, there's really just nothing he can do. Misses the storm, hits the storm, but the SCVs survive, and they get stuck again behind the factory and the machine shop again. And now the Zealots are just killing stuff. In the front, Zealots is, you know, trying to kill stuff. And there's just so much damage being dealt. He's got 14 SCVs still alive. 34, excuse me, 34. He lost 20 on those 2 drops so far. And another one. Calls GG. Brain got absolutely obliterated. Let me just spell it out for you. He got obliterated. Pretty damn bad. He was very aggressive. It looked very good play, but that was the riskiest Taran play I've seen in my entire life. He was risking it all for a very quick win, and all the risking did not pay off. It all went terribly wrong. It just all went the wrong direction, and all of his chances were gone after he got dropped on by shuttles and zealots when he tried to push into V's base. So Brain displayed a lot of skill, but V displayed the absolute perfect countermeasure against Brain's aggression. So V definitely proved himself to be one of the new top dogs on fastest map in 1v1. Like, just that game alone proved to me that he is, in fact, one of the absolute top dogs in fastest map. That was beautifully done. Completely dismantled Brain. But now we're back in Protoss against Protoss, and Brain is the Protoss against Protoss expert. He is the Grand Master, the Super Grand Master. He's the Magnus Carlsen of Protoss against Protoss. And that says a lot, because Magnus Carlsen has been the best chess player in the world, ever, for over 10 years already. And Brain kind of is the same. He is more or less the best StarCraft 1 vs 1 fastest map player, and has been for a very long time already. He is the Magnus Carlsen. I think that is the best way of describing Brain on fastest map. The Magnus Carlsen. And if you don't know Magnus Carlsen, as I said just earlier, he is the highest ranked chess player and has been for over 10 years. Which is, pretty unique and impressive. Magnus Carlsen has got a big brain, so they've got that in common. The Brain God and another Brain God from two different games joining hands in being Brain Gods. So V going for Nexus first again into double gateway, and Brain going for gateway assimilator, gateway cybercore again. So we might be seeing a repeat of game number 1, because this looks like a rock, paper, scissors situation where V chose paper, but Brain chose scissors. And now he's going to scissor V pretty hard. I'm cringing at myself for saying that. Okay, anyway, so we have gas coming out there for V. And we have Zealots already walking across the map. Of course, looking to kill some probes. Or maybe do some damage on the cannon, because the cannon is warping in. And the cannon is gonna be the one requirement for V to protect his own probes from harm. Alternatively, he can clip his probes into the Zealot and then micro himself in between the Zealot and the probes and, scare it away. So that was very well done. Proxy base being built for Brain. It's a proxy gateway. Is he gonna go for a Citadel of Dune Dark Templar sneak from behind? We do have Dragoons on the way from Brain. We have his probes coming the base. Gets found out by a Dragoon. There's only 2 gateways here. He skipped on a probe cycle? Is this the ultimate cheese build order from Brain in PvP? This just looks very wacky. This looks crazy and wacky. Dragoon range on the way for V. 4 gateways. Dragoons from Brain coming in. Zealots in between. Behind the Dragoons. Ready to zone the Zealots away from the Dragoons to allow the Dragoons to micro a little bit easier. Zealots flanking from the bottom side. On the top side, Dragoons forced to retreat. Double gateway finished up. It's just gonna be all Dragoons. It's just gonna be all Dragoons. There's no Citadel of a Dune, there's no cheese. It's just a simple Dragoon push, like in game number 1. And this time around, V is keeping his Zealots back at home, not going for a backstab attack, and the fight is going a little bit better this time for V than it did in game number 1. He managed to kill all the Zealots that Brain has, and managed to buy himself time for more Dragoons to spawn, but Brain still has Dragoons coming from across the map. There's a 5-worker difference. So the army size difference is not as big as it was in game number 1. The armies are kind of similar in size. Oh, Brain gets surrounded. Dragoons, though, make their escape. He starts firing the Dragoons, because the Dragoons are the only things they can fire while his own Dragoons are microing away from the Zealots. So snipes the Dragoons. Now it's only Zealots on the map. More Dragoons are spawning very soon. More gateways warping in. The micro is so damn good from Brain. This is exceptional. Exceptional. And so, with great micro, Brain manages to snipe all the Dragoons and keep only the Zealots alive because the Zealots are not a problem for this absolute Grandmaster level of micro. Dancing back and forth. Very beautifully done. Gonna keep stutter stepping, sideways, forward, backwards, sideways again, sniping. Lost one Dragoon I had selected. More Dragoons are spawning, but whenever they spawn, they get sniped and killed. Zealots really do not pose much of a threat, and the army of Dragoons from Brain keeps growing tiny little bits and tiny little bits. Protein pooled. It's gonna have to try to surround the Dragoons to block them from microing, but it might just be too late. The probes are coming in from behind, but there's too many Dragoons. There's too many of them. There's just nothing V can do. He pulled the probes too late, but the probes, pulling the probes pretty much already is a death sentence, and Brain wins game number 3 very quickly again, 6 minutes. V just chose the wrong build order 2 times in a row in PvP. Would have liked to see him go for something else, but Protoss against Protoss is just purely, sometimes it's just purely rock, paper, scissors. You select the build order and you either pick the right one or the wrong one. And in addition to that, Brain just had really good micro. Really good Dragoon micro. Thank you for watching. It was RGB for RJB TV. And I hope you enjoyed this very quick best of 3, where Brain got killed once, but won twice, and ultimately wins the best of set.